You notice something, maybe a headache that won't go away, or a strange feeling in your chest, so you do what most of us do. You open Google, and within about 4 minutes, you've gone from probably just dehydrated to this could be serious. Your heart is racing now. You're reading forums from 2009. You're deep in a rabbit hole. And somehow, you feel worse than when you started. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone, and you're not overreacting. There's actually a name for this pattern, and more importantly, there's a way out of it. What you just described has a name. It's called health anxiety, and the specific loop of searching symptoms online is sometimes called cyberchondria. It's more common than most people realize, and it makes complete psychological sense when you understand what's driving it. Here's what's happening in your brain. When you notice a physical sensation, a twinge, a flutter, a pain, your brain flags it as a potential threat. That triggers your amygdala, the part of your brain responsible for the fear response. And your amygdala doesn't think in calm, logical sentences. It thinks in urgency. It says, find out what this is, right now. So you Google, and for a brief moment, maybe 10 seconds, you feel a flicker of relief. But then you read something alarming, and your threat system fires again, harder this time, so you search more. You're no longer looking for information, you're looking for certainty, and the internet cannot give you that. This is the trap. Each search feels like it should calm you down, but it actually feeds the anxiety loop instead. Psychologists call this a reassurance-seeking behavior. It offers short-term relief while keeping the underlying anxiety alive and growing. The more you search, the more your brain learns that there is something worth being afraid of. So how do you actually break this cycle? Here are 4 approaches that work, not just in theory, but because of how they interrupt the specific patterns your brain has learned. The first is delay, don't deny. When the urge to search hits, don't white-knuckle it and tell yourself you're never allowed to look anything up. That kind of rigid rule usually backfires. Instead, create a time delay. Tell yourself, I'll look this up in 2 hours, if I still feel I need to. Set a timer if it helps. What you'll often find is that the urgency fades on its own. The sensation passes. The spiral never starts. This works because anxiety feeds on immediacy. When you introduce a pause, you give your prefrontal cortex, the rational, thinking part of your brain, time to come back online and weigh in before the fear response takes over completely. The second technique is name what's really happening. When you feel the urge to search, pause, and ask yourself, what emotion is actually here right now? Is it fear, loneliness, a feeling of being out of control? Health anxiety is rarely just about the body. It's often a signal that something else in your life feels uncertain or unsafe. When you name the real emotion underneath, you shift from the anxiety loop into self-awareness. Research in psychology shows that simply labeling an emotion, what scientists call affect labeling, reduces its intensity. You're not suppressing it, you're seeing it clearly, and that changes its power over you. Third, set a symptom boundary. If you do decide to look something up, give yourself a rule. 1 reputable source, 5 minutes, and then you close the tab. A trusted medical website, not a forum, not a comment section, and no follow-up searches afterward. The boundary isn't about being tough on yourself. It's about training your brain that you are in control of this behavior, not the other way around. Every time you keep that boundary, you're building evidence that you can tolerate uncertainty, and that evidence is exactly what anxiety erodes over time. And fourth, the most important one, redirect it toward your body, not away from it. This might sound counterintuitive, but stay with me. When anxiety is high, it lives in the body. tight chest, shallow breath, tense shoulders. Searching on your phone keeps you in your head, spinning through words and worst-case scenarios. What actually interrupts the anxiety response is bringing your attention back into your physical self, but with gentleness. Try slow, extended exhales. Breathing out for longer than you breathe in signals your nervous system to downshift. Or try placing a hand on your chest and simply noticing the warmth for 30 seconds. These aren't just relaxation tricks. They activate the parasympathetic nervous system, your body's built-in calm response, and they work faster than any reassurance you could find online. Today, you learned why symptom searching keeps anxiety alive, and 4 ways to break that cycle. Delay the urge, name the real emotion, set a search boundary, and come back to your body. These aren't quick fixes, but they are real skills that get easier every time you use them. If this topic hit close to home and you feel like you could use real, ongoing support, there's a link in the description to flexible online therapy. It's a genuinely accessible option, and sometimes talking to someone makes all the difference. If you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe. It helps more people find their way to this kind of support. And drop a comment below. What's one thing that helps you when anxiety starts to spiral? You don't need certainty to feel safe. You need to trust yourself a little more than you trust a search bar.